Yeah, I know that it's more of a PR stunt than anything. They're gonna strip out.
I have nothing more to give.
Arch Nemesis had two major identities to it. One was the changing of, or the changing or making more interesting and challenging modifiers to rare monsters. These include things like temporal bubble, ice prison, magma barrier, any god-touched stuff. That was one aspect of Arch Nemesis. The other aspect was the bundling of said modifiers into, you know, or setting them up in a bundle, like magma barrier did 5 different things that were themed fire. All of those interesting and challenging modifiers, they're not going away. They're just being dispersed. There will be fewer of them on each monster, but to make up for the fact that there will be fewer of them, they're going to buff a ton of them in power so that the overall difficulty level of the monsters will probably be marginally easier than they are currently. And people are going to go into this league thinking rares are going to be super easy. You know, let's go, it's game's good again, and they're just going to get walloped. Just like every other time the past year. You're going to get walloped just like before, and then the forums are going to be like, GGG lied to us, they said they nerfed rares, blah, blah. And GGG's never said they're nerfing rares. They've never even implied it, that they're nerfing rares. People read into what they want to hear. And it doesn't help that there's a bajillion streamers out there making content like, Arch Nemesis gone, is the league saved? Yeah, that's so bad for the community that they're out there doing that. So clickbaity and really bad for the community. It makes people, leads people to believe that GGG is deliberately like nerfing rares. That's not what they're doing. Like, it's clear as day that's not what they're doing. They even, the way they worded, there's the enlightened thing. The way they worded their manifesto and the part after it, the Q&A, they specifically avoid ever using the word easier or more difficult or less difficult. They do not use those words. They use words like annoying, complex, less complex. There's a reason why they're using those words. They're being very careful with their words so that when people look back and complain about it, they can say, look, I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. We never said we were going to make them way, way easier. I mean, they're still trying to, you know, follow their vision. They're trying to make the game challenging. They want rares. Again, 2 aspects to Arch Nemesis. One was the ease of identifying what they are. Basically, you just see it and you know, oh, this is a fire-themed Arch Nemesis. Oh, this is a speed-themed Arch Nemesis. And then, like, every modifier that's on it is tied to speed or fire or whatever. That was one aspect they wanted. That didn't work out so well, and they are walking back on that particular aspect. But they are not walking back on the aspect where they wanted to make Arch Nemesis monster, or where they wanted to make rares more challenging. More of something to contend with in the game. I don't see any sign whatsoever that they're walking back on that principle. And that was the dual-focused principle on rares. They wanted to make them more challenging, and they wanted to make them more identifiable. They failed on the identifiable side, and whereas many players think they failed on the challenging side, as in they made them too challenging, I don't think GGG sees it that way. But we'll see. I mean, we'll find out in the end. You know, I could be wrong. Maybe they really are going to be way easier. I seriously doubt it. I suspect, if I just had to, you know, guess a number out there, based on how difficult rares are right now, not God Touch rares, by the way, just rares in general, like across the board, I would guess that after the initial patch, rare monsters are going to be approximately 15% easier than they are right now. Maybe 15% a month. Probably like 10 to 15% easier. People have in their mind, I think, that they're going to be like 70% easier or something. Like, they're not even going to be half as hard as they are now. That's totally wrong. It's going to be wrong for sure. So I would warn people to not take on this expectation that, you know, the game's going to be so much easier. How do you measure the percentile? Just, I'm not measuring it. I'm just ballparking it in my head based on having played this game for a year and a half and seeing how things develop and how they nerf things and how they buff things and how they change things and over time. Seeing how the community reacts to things in a variety of ways, how there's all kinds of misconceptions that turn out one way or another, and then just watching basically the same theme play out over and over and over every league. And, you know, analyzing their vision, what they say they want to do, and then seeing them implement it in such a way, and then seeing all these people in disbelief that it was implemented in such a way. It's like, well, were you paying any attention? What they wanted to do? Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not what they intended to do.